Hello, everyone. I am Renata from the eSpot, and I am so excited to announce that I am moving to Finland. Yeah, this fall I will be moving to Jyväskylä, Finland, where I will be a doctoral researcher at the University of Jyväskylä. And while I'm there, I will be in the Contemporary Culture Studies program, and I will be researching UMK reaction videos. So, if you're familiar with my channel, this probably won't really surprise you because in the past year or so, there's been a lot of, signs pointing me towards Finland. But if you are new to my channel and you don't know anything about me, first of all, welcome. Thank you for watching. I am a Eurovision blogger. I run the eSpot, which was started in 2021 with my friend Greg. And we're kind of like a multimedia project. I do a lot of YouTube videos, reaction videos. Greg is a visual artist and does a lot of Eurovision related artwork. And I will have links to everything down in the description. I also do a podcast with Maxxy Rainbow, who is another Eurovision personality here on YouTube. And our podcast is called Joint Slay Podcast. And we did coverage all of 2024's Eurovision and Junior Eurovision seasons. So, my story with Finland, honestly, I don't even know where to start. Okay, it's complicated. So, I always knew about Finland since I was probably about 10 or 11 years old because of hockey. I was a really big hockey fan and I watched hockey with my dad, and I was a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. So there was a player on the Penguins named Janne Laukkanen, and he was a player from Finland. And he was just my favorite player. I loved his name. I thought he was super cute, and I chose him as being my favorite player. And later on, a few years later, the Penguins had another player from Finland. This one was Jarkko Ruutu. And again, I loved his name. He was like this really tough guy, and I loved watching him play. And so he became my favorite player at that point. And I've just kind of always had my favorite players have always been Finnish hockey players. So I've always been interested in Finland just as a hockey fan. In 2011, I met my first Finnish people. They were going to school with me. I was an exchange student in Lublin, Poland. So I had two Finnish friends, and that was the first time that I had, spoken to a Finnish person and not just watched them playing a hockey game. And in that same year, Greg had sent me a song by the singer Chisu called Kotalan Oma, and this song was amazing. The video was so cool. I was just in awe of this artist. So I became a really big fan of Jisoo. I think maybe they say it more like Kisu, but I'm not sure. So I was really into Finnish music at that point around 2011, and I got really into Eurovision around 2018. So in 2018, I started watching national selections, and that was the first year that I watched UMK, Uuden Musiikin Kilpailu, the Finnish new music competition to choose a song to go to Eurovision. And I think that year was Sara Aalto, and she chose between three songs. They didn't actually choose the song that I liked the most. They went with a different one, but I still liked that and I loved her. And she didn't have a great result, but that was okay. I was kind of at that point, I was a Finland stan. It was that's it. I'm kind of choosing this country a little bit. So I continued to watch UMK. And then in 2023, I started making reaction videos here on YouTube. And one of the first videos that I ever reacted to was Cha 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 by Kärja. And I loved it. It was made in a lab for me. Just everything about it was perfect. I loved him. I loved the song. I loved the energy. It was great. I just loved it. And I got totally caught up in the Kärja mania. And I decided, well, I had already planned that I was going to Eurovision that year in 2023, but I had decided as well after watching UMK in 2023, I wanted to go to UMK 2024. So what I started doing in, I guess it would have been like February or March 2023, I started learning Finnish and I started planning to get myself to Finland for UMK 2024. So, I mean, Eurovision was crazy. Eurovision was awesome. I got to meet Katia a couple times and I got to watch him. Well, I got to meet him once and I got to watch him perform a couple times. And it was just so cool and amazing. And I met some other Finnish people while I was there. That's Cookie. That's Cookie. Hi, Cookie. So I met some other Finnish people while I was there, and one of them was a journalist at Seura magazine. And she did a really nice article with me. And one of the things I said in the article was I wanted to go to Finland for UMK 2024. And I did. So come 2024, I was prepping for UMK. I was planning months and months in advance. Like I said, I was learning Finnish. I had been doing Duolingo for almost a full year. I had done private lessons in Finnish. I had done classes in Finnish, like online classes with other students. I had joined the Finlandia Foundation National Capital Chapter here in Washington, D.C., where I currently live, but not for long, and getting really involved with the Finnish Americans here in the Washington, D.C. area, going to juhannus gatherings and Christmas markets, and just kind of getting a little bit more immersed in at least the Finnish American aspect of Finnish culture. So finally, when UMK was happening and they were announcing artists and the song started being released, I decided that I really wanted to go all in and I was going to react to every single one of these music videos as they came out on the day. Like it was like that, like those songs came out, I was recording because I literally couldn't wait. I was so excited to do these videos and to hear the songs because this is just one of the best national selections. So I had done reactions to all of the songs in UMK, had all these amazing conversations with other people, Finnish people in the comments and other foreigners too. And I started making a lot of friends, like through YouTube and through other places on social media. And so, just like in 2023 with the Cha 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 reaction, I also ended up having like this explosively popular video to the song Paskana by Sada Siipola. And it was an overwhelming reaction for me. I didn't know if I even wanted to post it. I like cried a whole bunch and I felt like embarrassed about that, but I posted it anyway. Sara Siipola saw the video. I got to do an interview with her. She even did a reaction to my reaction, reacting to her. It was crazy. So I got to speak with her in an online interview. And the hope was when I got to Finland that I would be able to meet her. And I actually did. I got to meet her twice when I was there. And I just had a ton of really amazing things happening when I was there. I was accredited press for UMK. So I did get to do the press conferences and ask artists questions. And it was just such a cool experience for me. And I loved meeting all the other foreigners too that had come from really all over, from the United States and from all over Europe. It was just so cool. And of course, I got to meet all my Finnish friends, which was amazing as well. UMK was just crazy, absolutely crazy. The atmosphere, the light show, the technical aspects, the musical aspects, it was just so wonderful and absolutely unforgettable. And oh yeah, I also had like another really crazy thing happen. Not necessarily UMK related, but related to 2023. So as much as I loved Katia and I supported him through the whole thing, the second place of UMK that year was Portion Boys. And I like enjoyed them when they were on the show, but I was like so into Katia at that point that it was like a one track mind, single focus. And then a little bit after UMK, I was like, oh wait a second, That Portion Boys song, though, that was actually really good. So I started listening to it more and more. I started listening to it like a lot. I started listening to their other music a lot. And then eventually, at some point in the summer last year, it was just the only thing I would listen to. It was just Portion Boys, Portion Boys, Portion Boys all day long, every day. I would get in my car and I would drive to work and I would listen to Portion Boys. And I just become like really, really into them, learning all of the lore about them, learning the lyrics to the songs. It was just the most amazing escapism for me to listen to Portion Boys music. And it just so happened that I was able to meet the Portion Boys when I was in Finland, and I was able to go to one of their concerts. I was able to go backstage with them. It was just one of like mind-blowingly cool experiences. So while I was in Finland, it was just like every every day was amazing, and every day I cried every single day, and I'm not much of a crier actually, but I was crying every day. And I realized that it was because it was the first time in like years since 2019 when my dad had died. It was really the first time that I had like felt happiness since my dad had died. So like really 5 years of a really hard time. And of course there were times where I was like excited. Eurovision 2023 was exciting, and it was amazing in its own way, but I was still feeling a lot of just general sadness in my life. But when I was in Finland, like I didn't feel that sadness. I didn't feel like pressure and weight on me. And so I actually couldn't process like the feeling of happiness anymore. And so I was crying and crying every single day. And I realized once I got home that it was just that I forgot what it felt like to be happy. But Finland like reminded me like how to be happy. And before I was even gone, I knew like in my heart that I needed to come back to Finland, whether it was in the summer to go to music festivals or for something longer term. Like I just needed to find a way to come back to Finland. So it was obvious to me because professionally, I'm a historian. This is not particularly like an in demand, like if I was in tech or I don't know, engineering, or if something a little bit more business oriented, let's say, it would be a lot easier to work in Finland. But really the only way that I can go to Finland for more than holidays is to study. And I already had a master's degree, and the next thing is a PhD. And I always wanted to get a PhD. It was always my plan. I just didn't know when it was going to happen. And I felt like everything that had been going on with my reaction videos and my trip to Finland and the friendships that I was making over the internet across the world with people in Finland, that I should try to study in Finland. So I started looking at programs, and I had an idea that I wanted to do Eurovision, something related to Eurovision. So I had sent, emails, like exploratory emails to pretty much every university that had a program that could feasibly work for what I wanted. Something about Eurovision, about fandom, about cross cultural connections through music. And the school that was interested was University of Uvascula. And through lots of communication with them and kind of figuring out, where I had a lot of ideas. I had so many ideas about what I wanted to research and where how we could make it work. And I put together a successful research proposal, and I was accepted into their doctoral program. So it's a 4-year program. I will live in Uvascula for 4 years. And as I said, I will be researching reaction videos on YouTube, which is just kind of a really full circle moment. And actually, I had mentioned the Seora article that I had done in Liverpool. Well, I met back up with that same journalist when I was in Helsinki. And one of the things that I said to her in the interview was, I want to come back to Finland to do a doctoral program. And now I'm going to do it. So it's just been such a wild, like 18 months, because really this started with Cha 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 and Cha 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 Mania in UMK 2023. And then it turned into something so much bigger by 2024. And now I'm going to upend my entire life, and I'm going to bring my dog, and she's going to go on an airplane for the first time. She just jumped up. She knew I was talking about her. I'm going to bring her on an airplane for the first time, and we are going to move to Uvascula together. And I don't know if she's going to do good on the plane. I don't think she's going to like Finland very much, to be honest, because she doesn't like it when it's cold, and she doesn't like it when it rains, and she likes it when it's hot. And um, well, I think she's in for a rude awakening in Finland, but it's too bad. She does have a jacket though, so we'll be arriving in a jacket. Um, but yeah, so I am super pumped. I don't know exactly what is going to happen with this channel. I'm obviously going to keep making videos. I think that I'm going to do a lot about what it's like to be a foreigner in Finland. And I know that there's a lot of people who do those kinds of videos. They talk about the differences between Finland and whatever their home country is, and navigating what it's like in Finland. So I might be doing something like that. I know that I want to do ranking videos of hockey arenas. So I have a plan to go to visit all of the Liga arenas and maybe some Mestis arenas as well. And I just think I don't know what I'm going to make, but I'm just going to make whatever I feel like. So yeah, I don't really know what the future holds, but I'm really excited about it. And I can't wait to share my Finland journey with all of you here. Thank you for watching. Bye.